Als Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart 7 jaar oud is, nemen zijn ouders hem met zijn zus mee op een grand tour door Europa. Aan de verschillende hoven van Italië, Frankrijk, Engeland, Duitsland en ook Nederland geeft de kleine Wolfgang concerten met zijn vader en zus. Het verblijf in Nederland zal de familie Mozart niet bijzonder goed bevallen zijn. In Den Haag bezwijkt eerst zijn zus en daarna Wolfgang zelf aan een longaandoening. Hun ziektebed is zo ernstig dat vader Leopold een priester laat komen om hen de laatste sacramenten toe te dienen. De beide kinderen overleven de ziekte, maar na hun vertrek zou niemand van de familie ooit terugkeren naar Nederland. Het Netherlands Chamber Orchestra speelt deze week op 3 avonden alle 5 vioolconcerten van Mozart, met Julia Fischer op viool. Het geheel onder leiding van Yakov Kreizberg.
My mother is a pianist, so music, of course, was very important in our house. And it was her idea, actually, to bring me to violin lessons because she knew that there was a good teacher in the next village. Actually, that was the only reason. It wasn't very important to her which instrument I was playing. She just wanted that I have a good teacher. And lucky enough, he was really a great teacher, and that's how I got into violin. Number 3, number 4, and number 5 are the most famous one. Number 1 and 2 are very little played usually in concert because they have been somehow degraded as pupils' concerts. So usually you learn them when you're like 10, 11, and then nobody wants to play them anymore because you play them so much as a child. I was in the lucky situation that I didn't play number 1 and number 2 as a child. I only played number 3 and number 5. You can put 1 and 2 on one side and 3, 4, 5 on the other side. Not because of the length, because they only vary in a few minutes. But number 1 and 2 are more, I would say, almost in a barockish style, in a very virtuoso style written. They're more like Haydn concertos, while 3, 4, 5 are already showing into Beethoven, into that kind of area. So you can see some kind of development through those 5 violin concertos, how the concerto itself was actually varied in that time and developed in that time. Yes, of course it's a challenge, because whenever you do a cycles of anything, the challenge is not to become boring. I mean, if you're doing 5 concertos of the same composer, then there's a huge danger of going into the same routine over and over again in every concerto, especially with Mozart, because he had a very solid composing technique. So actually, you can always immediately after one bar see this is Mozart. And the challenge is to really change from one concerto to the next concerto, also the mood you're playing in, and within the concertos that it stays curious and interesting, and that you really develop a new world each time you're playing a concerto. With no composer you have to be as attentive as with Mozart, because you really have to react and act very, very quickly as soloist as well as conductor and orchestra. I've never done this cycles, you know. This is the first time that I'm doing. It's the first time that I'm playing all the 5 concerti. And it's actually usually very easy for me to remember music, but all the 5 concertos by Mozart is not so easy because they are very similar, and one passage from one concerto can easily be changed into the passage of the other concerto. But so far it's going well in the rehearsals, so we hope that I will start with the same concerto as I'm ending.
We Wij wensen u een mooie avond met Mozart, Julia Fischer, Yakov Kreizberg en het Nederlands Chamber Orchestra.